Coming to you direct from Silencer Shop Studios, home of the Glass Case of Emotion.
SilencerShop.com, the easiest way to buy silencers online, period.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
And here we go again. It's that time, Student of the Gun Radio. Thank you for tuning in and joining us today. I truly appreciate it. Jared truly appreciates it, I think. I don't know. I don't want to speak for the man.
I do truly appreciate it. Thank you guys very much. And I am Jared Markle, producer of Digital Mastermind here at Student of the Gun. I have been called by some people the jack of all trades and the master of many.
And the master of many?
Yes.
Oh, really? And not the master of none? Okay, well, we'll go with that. If that's your story, you just go ahead and stick to that. But it is Thursday. It's the last public broadcast of the week for all of you listening out there in iTunes land or Stitcher land or Google Play land or wherever you happen to be listening. We obviously do, well, not obviously. All right. I do that a lot. I shouldn't say obviously because it may not be obvious to some people. It may be hidden. We may have some people have written us and said, I hear you talk about this grad program thing, but I don't know how to become a part of it or how to join it or what have you. So every Friday we do a special bonus hour for the grad program. Now, the grad program are people that actually subscribe to limited exclusive Student of the Gun content.
Which is premium content.
Premium content. Thank you, Jared, for correcting me there or helping me. So every Friday you get a bonus hour. You get a full hour of hilarity. It's a big boy, big girl hour. We talk about things that we either couldn't or didn't talk about during the week. Every month you get the Tactical Tutor newsletter sent directly to you. You get exclusive offers. Like the Team Honey Badger patch and so on and so forth. Also, in addition to that, what do they get? All access.
I'm going to studentgunradio.com. I'm going to click on the Become a Member tab at the top right. I scroll down a little bit, and here we go. 30-day trial for only $1, which is going to be going away soon. You get exclusive celebrity interviews, a weekly bonus hour of Student of the Gun Radio, a monthly tactical tutor. You get access to our private Facebook group. That's an added bonus.
The Liberty Mastermind group,
yes.
That's right.
You get exclusive product offers, student discounts, affiliate discounts. The partner discounts page is protected, and it's only available to the grad program members. You get access to every bonus hour ever produced. You get access to every single tactical tutor ever produced. And obviously, it's the most fun you can have with your clothes on.
That's right, the most fun you can have with your clothes on. Yep. So you say, well, I could join tomorrow, but if I do that, then I don't get to hear last week's or the week before's. No, you can. You can go back into the archives and listen. So you're welcome. You're welcome.
If you have any questions or you would like to just say hi, you can go to studentgunradio.com, click on Become a Member tab. All the way at the bottom, there's a thing that says, don't be shy, contact us with any questions.
Aww.
Fill that out and send us a message.
Man, that sure was nice of you to do that for him, Jared.
Yeah.
You're a nice guy. I don't care what anybody says.
I like to talk to some people. We got some member stuff on here, member quotes from Chris Ellis, Justin Finney, and Stephen Blackwell.
Yeah, don't take our word for it.
Yeah.
Just don't. Don't do it. Did you put As Seen on TV on the Student of the Gun Facebook page?
Yeah.
I love that.
It is.
As Seen on TV. Yes, As Seen on TV. If you guys aren't taking advantage of the on-demand television material, you're really messing up. What did you just put up, Jared? Season 6, episode 11?
Yeah, 11 just went up.
Episode 11 is up. And maybe by the time you hear this, well, no, this is a Thursday. Well, it's Thursday, so they'll have 12.
12 is up.
Yeah, because they go up. The new episodes go up every other Thursday.
12 is a good episode. You guys should definitely watch it.
You should definitely watch them all, but if you want to start there, that's cool. You can do what you want. You're an American. Or, here's the good news. If you're not an American, but you speak English, if you don't live in the United States but speak English, you can watch wherever.
Yep. And we've got on our Roku and Apple TV channels right now. Now, some of you don't have access to Apple TV yet, but you will in the near future.
And Prime.
Yeah, or you might
Fire
by
TV,
the time that
Amazon
you're
Fire
listening to
TV.
this, yes. But you can get seasons 4, 5, and 6, the entire season there, absolutely free.
Wow.
From us. We don't charge you for it.
Wow, that's crazy. So if you're in Australia, you can listen. Or if you're in a weather station in Antarctica, you can watch too.
Yep.
There's that.
They're going to be available on the website, but they're not going to be free there. So,
Not in Antarctica?
No. Well, yeah. I was going to say that we understand that you pay a fee for the Apple TV or the stick that you get for Amazon Fire. So the stuff on there is going to be free for those that have paid for their box. And if you want to access it on the website, it's going to be a premium fee.
Well, speaking of people listening to us at weather stations in Antarctica, we love to hear where you guys are at. We'd like to hear where you're listening to us from. And a great opportunity for you to do that, for you to chime in and say, this is where I am on planet Earth, is every Friday morning. Every Friday morning at 10 Central Time, that's 10 Central in the United States of America, we do the Morning Mindset. And one of the things and it's on Facebook. You have to follow us on Facebook. It's Facebook/Student of the Gun / suck it. I don't know. But if you follow us on there, you can chime in and you can tell us where it is that you are on planet Earth. And I really enjoy that. Quite frankly, that's why I scroll through. I scroll through to see where people are listening to us from. All right, that is time for Thursday's episode. Reporter gets burned by his own agenda. Oh, the sweet, sweet irony. It's dripping like honey. And you know who loves honey? The honey badger loves honey. That's right. It's in his name. Duracoat, why? Because life's too short to have an ugly gun. That's exactly why. Frog Lube, it's green, it's minty fresh, it just works. And it's extreme. Now, you can Frog Lube your Century Arms gun, a C39 or TP9, SF or SFX or whatever. I don't care. Do what you want. But if you go to brownells.com, while you're there, you can order Duracoat products. You can order Frog Lube products. Now, you can't order Century Arms products so much, but you know what they do. Jared, did you know that in addition to the gun, Century has accessories? They have AK trigger kits and so on and so forth. So you want to make sure that you're checking out their website frequently to see what they've got. Now, the last sponsor I want to talk about is our friends at SWAT Fuel. They have a new store, or an upgraded store, I guess you could say. And if you go to SWATfuelstore.com, you can take a look at it and use the promo code SOTG2015, and you're going to save yourself some money. And, of course, that is a good thing.
Is it?
It absolutely is a good thing, unless you don't want to save money. And then if you don't want to save money, just put it in an envelope and send it to us here.
Attention, new listeners. We produced a free training video series called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. We want you to have access to this life-saving information. Get instant access now at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of those questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
Well, alrighty then, Miss Alex. I will go to studentofthegun.com just because you asked me so nicely to do so. All right, the lead story today comes from thegatewaypundit.com. Ha! Liberal reporter tries to buy AR-15. Gets denied for violent past. Oh, the sweet, sweet irony. And you may or may not have seen this story, but I want to make sure, absolutely sure, that you are aware of this story. Now, the dateline is June 19th, 2016. And the story is by Jim Hoft with guest post Michael Strickland. All right. Neil Steinberg, writer for the Chicago Sun-Times. Oh, well, you know that's the got to be a good paper. And did you see, Jared, real quick, administratively, that I updated the show notes?
Yeah.
Okay. Neil Steinberg, writer for the Chicago Sun-Times, saw how easy it was for other journalists to waltz into a gun shop and walk out with a child-slaughtering, full-auto death machine, exactly like the one that the Navy Marine Rangers use. Leftist talk there.
Navy Marine Rangers.
So he decided to try it in Des Plaines or Des Plaines. I don't know if you're a fan of Fantasy Island. It might be Des Plaines, Illinois. Only this didn't go quite according to plan. Now, this is a favorite trick of the leftist scuzzbag weenies, is to take their cameras and say, look how easy it is. I like the ones that go on to Craigslist to buy a gun, and then they get all butthurt, and they're like, look what happened. I bought this gun. You mean you engaged in lawful commerce? You engaged in lawful commerce in the United States of America? Well, we have to pass a law against that. We have to stop that from happening. We just can't allow that. So what did he do? Well, in addition to the mandatory 24-hour waiting period in Illinois, did you guys know that out in the rest of free America that Illinois still has a 24-hour waiting period? It turns out Mr. Steinberg has a troubled past of alcohol abuse and domestic violence. So he was denied the sale.
The Human Torch was denied
a bank loan.
a bank loan.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. The scuzzbag liberal media was denied a gun. But before he got that far, he was first faced with the same hurdles that other potential gun buyers are faced with: contradictory and unclear gun law. As he wrote, I had trouble even figuring out whether bringing an assault rifle into Chicago is legal.
Add a lisp.
Huh?
You need to add a lisp when you're reading his writing.
Oh, a list?
A lisp.
A lisp?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you had list. Because I have list on my mind because I'm afraid that I'm on the list. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm on more than one list, if I had to be honest. The internet was contradictory. So this news reporter, breaking news. I have just discovered that the internet is contradictory. That you can go on the internet and find different answers to the same question. What? No way. Wow. This guy must have a master's in journalism to have figured that out. The internet was contradictory. The Chicago Corporation's counsel office punted me onto that black hole of silence, Bill McCaffrey. I found that Illinois has a 24-hour waiting period between buying and taking possession of a gun. Unearthing that fact alone made the exercise seem worthwhile. I was learning something. Yeah, you were learning something. After chatting with one of the salesmen at Maxson Shooting Supply about the different ARs and options, Steinberg is asked to show his FOID card, which is apparently some kind of Star of David for gun buyers in Illinois. Thank you, Gateway Pundit.
That's funny.
He decided on a Smith & Wesson M&P 15 Sport, one of the lower-end models. He doesn't want to spend a lot of cash. He just wants to buy something that's black and evil-looking and take it out of the store with him.
Yeah, they don't want to. Well, I mean, whatever.
Yeah. That's why. I mean, he's not going to buy. He's not going to buy a Spikes rifle or something like that. One of the lower end models that lacks a lot of the features of a quality standard AR. Steinberg tosses in the normal anti-gun rhetoric with, listen to this. This is Mr. Steinberg, who has a violent past, who has alcohol abuse and domestic violence in his past, and can't get a gun. Driving to Maxson's, the whole gun debate clarified in bold relief. Driving to Maxson's, the whole gun debate clarified in bold relief. Period. There is the danger of the gun itself, and there's the danger the gun protects you from. Another divide. Which danger you feel is greater decides which side of the divide you live on. Being fact-based, I know you buy a gun. The person you are most likely to shoot statistically. Am I on drugs here, or is this like the most convoluted, upside down, craptastic paragraph I've ever written? This is from a guy who has a doctorate in journalism, apparently. It says, the person you are more likely to shoot statistically is yourself and your family. More preschoolers are killed by guns than are police officers. Nor do I need a sense of security, false though it may be, that guns bring. So, according to Master Steinberg, guns offer a false sense of security. I live in Northbrook, where criminal danger is remote. Oh, that's right. I forgot. When you're a liberal journalist, you're able to look at a map and say, okay, crime doesn't occur here. It does there. Sometimes it does here. But I feel pretty safe. I feel pretty safe when I'm going to the grocery store or to the movie theater or to church or to anywhere because, everybody knows that there are certain places that are safe and you don't need to carry a gun there. Right, Jared? Mm-hmm. My boys laugh at us for locking the doors. I don't plan on keeping this gun a second longer than I have to for this column. Oh, I know what this is, Jared. This douche nozzle was talking into a recorder. He was talking into a voice recorder while he was driving over to the gun shop. Then he goes on. The gun shop knew who he was. When it came time to make the purchase, Rob, the clerk with tattoos, handed me over to Mike, who gave me his hand, shaking mine. I gave mine. All right, the writer, he said. If he wanted to lie as part of my job, I'd have gone into public relations. If I wanted to lie as part of my job, I'd gone into public relations. Oh, my God. Yes, I said, explaining that I plan to buy the gun, shoot at their range, then give it to the police. Oh, wow. Where's my friend? Thank you, Mr. Dammit Doll. So, long story short, he didn't get the gun. It says, let me go to all the way to the bottom of the story. And, Oh, and he says, well, I didn't see that coming. Were that same standard applied to the American public, there would be a whole lot fewer guns sold. Besides, they knew I planned to immediately sell it back to them. Okay, Maxson had its chance to offer the reason. Now I'll state what I believe is the real reason. Gun manufacturers and the stores that sell them make their money in the dark. Really? Congress, which has so much trouble passing the most basic gun laws, does this artard not have a Google machine? How many gun laws? Here's what I'm going to do right now on air as we do this. Number of gun laws, United States. I just Googled number of gun laws in United States. And let's see what I come up with. First thing on Wikipedia, the number of gun laws. It says gun laws. I wonder if you can get total number. Because apparently, according to this guy, this Mr. Steinberg, politicians can't even get even the most basic gun laws passed in the United States. This is a guy who lives in the Communist People's Republic of Illinois. Okay, it says 20,000? It says something in the neighborhood in the United States of America between the federal government, the state government, and local governments. There are somewhere in the neighborhood of 20,000 separate gun laws in the United States of America. Apparently, Mr. Steinberg doesn't have the ability to conduct the kind of research that we can here. But he says, passing the most basic gun laws, passed a law making it illegal for the federal government to fund research into gun violence, whatever, except for the week or two after massacres, the public covers its eyes. Would-be terrorists can buy guns. Insane people can buy guns. But reporters, that's a different story. You crybaby scumbag. Gun makers avoid publicity because the truth is that they sell tools of death to frighten people and make a fortune doing so. They shun attention because they know if we saw clearly what is happening in our country, we would demand a change. Hey, buttface! You lose. They ran your background and they found out that you're dirty. You don't get a gun. Aw, poor baby doesn't get his gun. Aw. Oh, and that leads me right into another story from The Blaze. Now, remember well, how could you not remember? We've talked about the us versus them, the ruling class versus the peasant class. And when you're part of the big media, the reason the big media, if you ever wondered, why do they attach themselves to the Democrat Party? Why do they attach themselves to the statists and the progressive? Well, because by attaching themselves to them, they get to be part of the ruling class. They get to be a part of the elite class where the rules don't apply to them. The rules and laws, well, those only apply to peasants. They don't apply to us because we're part of another group of people. Well, you may or may not remember here recently that CBS decided they were going to fund a special anti-gun segment and about how evil guns are and so forth. And then, of course, what do? They send a little reporterette chick into the gun store to see if she can buy an evil gun. Well, and this story is sourced from theblaze.com. Gunshot Files report with the ATF claims CBS may have committed a serious crime for their anti-gun segment. Let's see. A gun store owner in Alexandria, Virginia, is accusing CBS News of possibly committing a straw purchase and the procurement of a firearm under false pretenses, which any of you who have ever filled out a 4473 know is against the law. And you're like, Paul, are you telling me that people have actually gone to jail for just filling out the form wrong? Yeah, that's actually what I'm telling you. There have been people tried and convicted because they filled out the form wrong.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But now we've got the minions of the state that are going to be going through this process, and let's see what happens to them. Okay,
in an anti-gun segment intended to show how easy it was to purchase an AR-15 rifle, CBS reporter Paula Reed bought the firearm at Spec Dive Tactical and then transferred the gun to a federally licensed dealer just a few hours later. What? It says, Ryan Lamke, general manager of Spec Dive, told the Washington Free Beacon Reed paid for the rifle with cash, claiming she planned to undergo training. He claimed the reporter refused basic free instruction of firearm safety under the pretense that she was using the firearm for training with an NRA certified instructor. Due to the information provided in the CBS News report filed today, I suspect that Ms. Reed committed a straw purchase and the procurement of the firearm under false pretenses. In other words, she lied. She wasn't planning to take it to train. She wasn't planning to keep it for herself. She bought it with the intent of transferring it to someone else. Now, I know you guys out there are like, well, isn't it her lawful property? Yeah, it is. And you know what? If we applied all the laws to everyone else the same way, I'd be like, rock on. But what do we know, Mr. and Mrs. America? If you did that and the ATF found out, guess who'd be busted? You would. The owner of the gun shop, Jerry Rapp, echoed Lamke's statement, saying the individual is guilty of trying to bypass the legal pathway to firearms ownership when he or she knowingly tries to buy a gun with the intent of giving it to another person. That's called a straw purchase.
Did you want me to play the video that has her saying what she's going to do with it?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, let's see if we can get it to play.
According to a new CBS News poll, 89% support background checks on all gun buyers. That this is backed by 92% of Republicans. Chris Van Cleve looks at how to get a weapon like the one used by the Orlando shooter. He is in Arlington, Virginia. Like Florida, that state does not have a waiting period for rifle sales. Chris, good morning.
Good morning. The Orlando nightclub shootings have restarted the debate on guns, particularly the AR-15 style rifle. You often hear them referred to as an assault rifle. In Virginia, the law to buy one is pretty straightforward. You have to pass an often very quick background check and then pay for your purchase. In Virginia, where the Virginia Tech shootings killed 32 people, there is no waiting period for a firearm. Even a so-called assault rifle, similar to those used in Orlando and San Bernardino. We sent a CBS News producer into a gun store in Alexandria, just outside of Washington, D.C.
I would like to buy an AR-15.
Per Virginia law, she provided 2 items to prove state residency, a driver's license and a voter ID card, as well as her passport to prove U.S. citizenship. She filled out these federal and state forms requiring her name, date of birth, social security number, and a few basic questions about any past criminal activity or current restraining orders. And she passed a brief electronic background check.
Did this all go through?
It did. Been approved.
All told, it took 38 minutes and $1,030 for her to walk out of the store legally armed with this rifle, 100 rounds of ammunition, and a 30-round magazine.
Throughout most of America, you can go into a gun store and buy an AR-15, just like you'd go into a Starbucks and buy a cup of coffee.
Virginia is one of 41 states with no waiting period beyond the background check. 4 states and Washington, D.C. impose a waiting period on all firearms, ranging from 10 days in California and D.C. to 24 hours for long guns in Illinois. Minnesota requires a week-long wait for handguns and assault weapons. 4 other states, including Florida, only require a waiting period for handguns.
Generally, handguns are subject to more extensive commercial sale restrictions because those are the weapons of choice for most criminals. Handguns are used far more often to commit crimes. Our patchwork quilt of gun laws is destined to be ineffective.
Miguel Angel Honorato.
At a rally outside the NRA Tuesday, gun control supporters renewed their calls for stricter gun laws. But 40% of Americans still disagree with that, even after Omar Mateen opened fire inside the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, murdering 49 people.
What would be much more productive than waiting periods, background checks, would be to get rid of the gun-free zones where this dirtbag operated in Orlando.
Larry Pratt from Gun Owners of America wants fewer laws restricting gun ownership.
We need to make it so that the good guys are able to act immediately when a bad guy strikes. To have to call the police and to wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes is to wait to die.
It's a debate that's not going away.
I thought the chick was going to be coming on telling us about her experience, but apparently not.
Okay. So,
but there are people out there that think that you can go in. So this,
like Starbucks, as easy as walking into a Starbucks.
The process that chick just went through, like he knows exactly what she went through, and then he decides to say that you can buy one just like Starbucks.
So apparently, when you go to Starbucks now, you have to fill out a Form 4473, and they have to pick up the phone and they have to call a bureaucrat and give them all your information on the other side. And Jared, last time you bought a flat white, a grande flat white, did you have to show 2 forms of ID and prove residency?
Nope.
Well, that's just what they said here. It's the same as buying coffee at a Starbucks.
How can people be so stupid?
No, they have an agenda. They have a 100% agenda. So here's what we know. We know that this chick went in there with the full intention of purchasing a gun and then immediately transferring the gun to someone else. That's what we know. If you or I would have done this and would have bragged about it in public, guess who would be knocking on your door? Yeah, the men in blue with badges and guns would be knocking on your door, and they would have some questions for you or I. But if you're a little liberal chick, a little news chick, You can go in, buy it, and then walk out of the store and hand it to someone else, and you're good to go. That is the world that we live in today. Now, I've got one more for you here, and I don't want you guys to forget this. And I've got a special, just a super special theme song for you.
Tiptoe through the window, by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me.
Lest we forget Little Davy Gregory. Yeah, don't forget about Little David Gregory. I'm pretty sure that Little David Gregory did this after the registered Democrat Obama supporter. I think he was the son that Obama never had. When that guy walked around the Navy Yard murdering people remember when he did that with his AR-15 shotgun? The infamous AR-15 shotgun?
Yep.
Yep, they reported immediately that he was armed with a black AR-15 shotgun when he entered the Navy base. And so David Gregory, he gets on. Oh, this was a while back.
Yeah.
Sensible Navy suit for an orange. Oh, David Gregory nearly traded a sensible Navy suit for an orange jumper when the former Meet the Press host brandished an illegally possessed high-capacity magazine in 2012 on a 2012 episode of Meet the Press. Now you say, well, BFD, Paul. Well, it is kind of a BFD because if it was... Do you remember the guy in Washington, D.C. who was stopped and they found a piece of ammunition in his car? Not a gun. They found a piece of ammunition in his car, and he was charged with the unlawful possession of ammunition. Then you had, I believe it was a doctor who was in the process of a divorce, and so his psycho ex-wife called the police and told him that he had illegal guns, machine guns or whatever, and so they executed a warrant on his house, and what did they find? A shotgun shell that apparently had not gone off, like a dud, and bullets, not cartridges of ammunition. Remember, they found actual muzzleloader projectiles. Do you remember this? This is in Washington, D.C. They charged him with unlicensed possession of ammunition and took him to trial. The judge found him guilty of attempted manufacture of unlawful and unlicensed ammunition. I'm not even kidding you. This is the country that you lived in. This guy had a piece of copper-jacketed lead in a cone ball shape and was arrested, tried, and convicted in Washington, D.C. But you have an elite member of the media, little Davy Gregory. He goes and he gets a 30-round clip. He got his hands on a 30-round clip, and he used it as a prop during Meet the Press, and he held it up and he waved it at the camera. Guess what? If it was you or I, or maybe even a doctor, you'd have been charged and convicted of a felony. Jared, do you know that doctor that he had to go register as a firearms offender?
Wow.
In D.C.? Yeah. He is a registered firearms offender for the attempted manufacture of unlawful or unlicensed ammunition. But you have a member of the media, like so many we've talked about before, who flagrantly violated D.C. law. Is David Gregory in jail right now? The answer would be no. Did David Gregory go to jail? The answer would be no. Why is that? Because they carry the water for the administration. They're not going anywhere. As long as they say the right things and support the right people, they are good to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday, and it's time for our Crossbreed Holsters Student of the Gun Homeroom segment.
What you gonna do when it all comes back to the place that you never wanted it to come back to? And where you gonna roll when the bottom drops out and you got no place to go? Who you gonna trust? When trust is a must, you better roll with the rest of us. So pack your bags and all the faith you can, cause it's about ready to hit the fan. Come to ready. It's 2012, y'all about the re-election of an antichrist. Come to ready. You don't believe me, just look deep into the soul of the liar's eyes. Come to ready.
Aww. You know what, Jared? You know what I'm looking at right now?
What?
I'm looking at that little picture of Annie the puppy sleeping on the porch.
Oh.
I think what I should do...
Get off of Facebook.
Shut up. I'm looking at something nice. Butt face.
That's not why you went there.
No, that's exactly why I went there.
No, it's not.
Went there to look at that because... And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to print that up as a color print photograph. I'm going to frame it. I'm going to put it in the studio. And that way I can look at it and it'll make me feel good.
You can hang it up on your window.
When the whole world is just stupid, I can look at that and it'll make me feel good. But today we're going to talk about something completely and totally different than that on the homeroom. It's not that hard to dress the part. What do you mean, Paul? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what I mean, and thank you for asking. How many times, Jared, have you encountered op-eds or blog articles or comments or whatever about how, well, that's all well and good for you, but there's no way I can carry all that stuff, right? I would, but I just can't. It's too difficult for me to carry all that stuff.
It's not.
It's not that difficult. Jared and I, we went out today, earlier before we recorded, and it's summertime, and I'm not brutal on clothes, but I haven't bought new shorts, cargo shorts, in a while. And apparently Jared hadn't either. He needed some. So while we were out after we had lunch, he's like, well, it's time to get some new shorts. So we went to the, I had shorts on, and I went and got actually the last pair. The last pair that don't have oil stains or torn or whatever on them. I made the mistake of wearing actually a nice pair of shorts when I was cutting the hedges, and I got oil from the gas-powered trimmer on them. And anyway, so walk into the dressing room with the shorts, and I put them on. And the first thing I do is I put my pocket gun into the pocket to see if the pocket is deep enough to cover it and hold it, and it worked. And then what else? Well, when I shop for stuff like that, I shop for things with loose pockets, deep front pockets, and or cargo pockets. And the cool thing about our modern world today is everybody wants to, they want to put iPhone 6s on themselves, or what's that thing you used to have, the Galaxy phone, which was pretty big. They want to be able to carry that stuff. And so the clothing manufacturers know that. And knowing that people want to carry a big phone like a Galaxy or an iPhone 6, what they do is they actually make generous pockets now. Well, that's good for you and I, because what are we going to put in it? We're going to put a Surefire flashlight in it. We're going to put a knife, pocket knife in it. We're going to put a pocket lifesaver. We're going to carry a pocket gun, what have you, pepper spray, you name it. So you can do it. Right now, I'm in shorts and a T-shirt, and I have everything I need to take care of any unanticipated problem on my body. And you can too. It just takes a little bit of effort on your part. And when it comes to khakis, for cold weather or what have you, there's a lot of different types of clothing that will work. You just need to put the effort into it. That's all you need to do. And hint, hint, when you go to the store to try the stuff on, take the stuff with you. When you go to the store to try the new clothes on, take your stuff with you. Go into the changing room and see if you can put your stuff on. And if you can, go team.
I don't know why you would not have your stuff with you in the first place.
I don't know. Sometimes I have to say these things. All right, kids, that's it for this week on Student of the Gun Radio grad program. We will talk to you tomorrow. And for the rest of you, make sure you're tuning in on Monday. Remember, leave us a review. And please share this with at least one person that you think should hear it. Talk to you later. Bye.